Yo! Fuck yeah! How you going? Welcome to Wild West Wednesday. We're getting out of control. Welcome, everybody, to Wild West Wednesday. We're going to talk about tonight. We have a special show. It's amazing. It's going to be amazing. We're going to find out about this Nick dude, Nick Cannon. I fucking feel for this guy. I feel like he's been wrongly persecuted. He's been treated in a world of political correctness and intolerant people. Has there been a bit of consistency? I think this Nick dude's he's had the sack. He's been given the sack off MTV, mate. I can't believe that this poor innocent man has been given the boot. He was raving. He was like, I don't even know how this guy speaks. We have to listen to him. I was listening to one of his rap songs earlier, and he was like, "Yeah." He said the N-word a lot, and I don't really like. I'm not into rap music anymore. I don't know what happened. When I was young, I used to listen to it, and then I was just like, not interested. G'day, binary agenda. Hey, y'all, mate. We're fucking rocking another early show. We're finding out about this Nick the racist. No, I don't even want to call him racist. I don't believe he's a racist. Nick Cannon, this dude, he's some rapper guy. I don't even know who he fucking was until he said something and someone got all offended and cracked the shits about it. They weren't happy. He's an evil person. I'm told to hate this man. The mainstream media wants me to hate him. I'm the only one in the chat. Sing me a song. Yo. Rusty Shogun here. Nah. I don't know. I was listening to heaps of awesome punk music today at work because we're pretty fucking slow. So I'm just like, listening. I listened to a little bit of this Nick Cannon dude's fucking speech thing, how he banged on, and he's like, so paraphrase, here's a little thing. Hello, son. Yo. We're hoping that maybe be free. Dusty. What's up, folks? Yeah. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. That's the way you should sing the national anthem whenever you're at a sporting event, you know what I mean? With golden soil and velvet. You just get into it, or else it's not fun. If you can't be silly, this is actually why I don't like rap music, right? Because I feel like, you know, when you listen to punk music and rock, and they're like, you listen to fucking Poison or something like this, or AC/DC, and like AC/DC, they're dressed up like a school kid. They're having a joke. They're having a laugh. They're like got long hair, and they're like, yo. They're having a good time. They're just fucking chilling out, dude. They're not taking it too serious. The whole punk scene was about people just having a go. I don't think that they even think that they are good or they sound good. They're just having a go. And with the rappers, the rap scene for me, it's too fucking try hard. I'm sorry, it's too fucking try hard. All music, when you go out with your mates on the beers and you go to the dance floor and and you're like, yo, it should be fun. It should be funny. You should be having a good time. The music should be funny in a way. Not fucking like, oh, fucking, I'm the toughest cunt ever. The meanest, So I just don't like rap music. I find it fucking boring, to be honest. I feel like it's the same shit over and over and over again, and it gives me shits. rap isn't art. Rap isn't art. People have different views. Well, that's true. When I was young, I used to like it, and for some reason, I don't know why. I feel like I like Bone Thugs. They seem to be like, it was kind of funny. Eminem and D12, it was kind of funny. They were taking the piss and it was just having a laugh. It was all good. You know what I mean? And then it just, some of it is just too serious for me. I'm just like, what? What is this? Should we try pull up this Nick dude? I'll try pull up. Where's his fucking rap song? I pulled up. I had a bit of a rap. Well, listen to like 30 seconds because I think I'll get a copyright strike or however it fucking works, mate. But I'll give you like a little fucking taste of this. So you get the young people growing up, and like these people, they think this is like, they seriously think like this is cool, or like this is what they want to. This is, oh mate, so cool, mate. Oh fuck, look how cool these dudes are. Look how cool this is. Is this supposed to be cool? That's supposed to be cool. It's fucking pathetic, man. It's fucking gay. I have to say, I just think it's fucking shit. If I see any of one of my youth boys, I would hear them listening to shit, music, and I'll be like, are we fucking serious? Are we serious? Yeah, punk is also sex, drugs, and alcohol. That's what I'm all about. That's what I think. Look, I'm not saying I'm all about that. I'm saying I'm all about. It's just supposed to be a bit more funny. It's just me. It might be just my personality. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'll just like it to be a bit fucking punk. Yeah, punk is maybe a bit more political. That's right. As gay as Antifa. It was as gay as Antifa. I'm gonna have to say it was fucking that rap music. I only had to listen to 30 seconds of that. I'm like, young people, do you listen to this shit? But I was listening to a little bit of this guy's podcast or his fucking live today. I thought I pulled it up. Maybe we should try pull it up. And he was like, apparently this dude, Nick Cannon, apparently he's lost his MTV thing. They're not fucking happy about it. They've cracked the shits. This is like political correctness. It's coming a full circle. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, he said something offensive. I'm not offended. I think his whole spiel is he's like, back in Babylon, man. When the Babylonian. Back when the Babylon. I think his theory, so there's probably some like crazy, awesome, there's all these weird like cults and shit, like the Nation of Islam and all these like fucked up weird little cults in New York City area around there. A lot of them have these mad theological ideas. I like different theological ideas and how they just take you down a fucking rabbit hole. And it's like building, I like different scientific theories. I'll be like, yo, or like sci-fi movies. I'm interested. I like the conspiracy theories. I like theoretical scientific theories or theoretical doctrines and shit. I like it. So I'm like, I'm happy to listen to this bloke and I'm not offended. I don't give a fuck. I'm happy to listen to him. And I'm pretty sure the idea, like someone probably, I bet you there was like Malcolm X and Nation of Islam and all these weird dudes and they're like preaching all the shit. Probably some mad Jamaican Rastafarian was like, Babylon, man, would you go to the Babylon? And then the what, man? So there's like the story in the Bible, like this Tower of Babel. I'm pretty sure maybe this is, I'm going on my own tangent here. There's a story of the Tower of Babel. It's such a tiny story. I think it's like a half of a page or a quarter of a page story. So these stories will be like, they'll be like the flood story or this creation story. And you'll be like, it's a half a page long, dude. It's a half a page. There's nothing you like. You have a bit of license to read between the lines and create it into a magical story. You just make it into like this. There's more to the story. You can't have such a fucking epic event and there's only half a page. But anyway, in the there's some like story of Babylon where it's like this tower. So like after the flood, and it's like the first city, and apparently we're all chilling and living there and like, yo, how you going? Getting on. Some kind of hybrid freak population. I don't really know exactly how it happened, but there's like, if you take, because it's such a small story, there's so many different interpretations. So I mean, my interpretation, yeah, reggae is good too. I like reggae. I reckon the reggae kind of Christians, yo man, Mr. Babylon is the bad man. That's the kind of shit I want to fucking see revive. The Bob Marley characters, the reggae kind of theological Christian African dudes. That's like a group of people who are pretty fucking interesting. They're pretty cool. Reggae. This is what I was saying. How I'm not interested in music that's too fucking like it's too like on itself. Some of this rap music, it's so fucking on the fucking yeah. It's just too serious. As in they're taking themselves too serious. Now reggae music, that's fucking awesome. That's next level. It's like kind of funny. It's funny. Like maybe they're being serious, but it's funny. Like punk music, you know, like the old school rock bands, how they would take the piss. Like, yeah. Is it Steel Panther? Have you seen the band Steel Panther? They're fucking good. I love that. That's so good. Yo, Rational Times. Hey, brother. I'm gonna use your song on censored TV. Hopefully, I'm fucking putting it forward. I'm like, yo, I need my Dusty Bogan song on there. You legend. And yeah, it's a bit more peaceful but still militant. I think they've got like the right idea in reggae where they're like, yo, Mr. Babylon man, it is the return of the beast and the Babylon. Watch out, bruh. So they're like, they've got it right. They're not like, you fucking blah blah blah. They've got it right. It's like a theological yeah, and I'll totally give you a shout out, bro. I'll be like, yo. I'll like make sure I give you a shout out as much as possible. Yeah, but so the story of the Tower of Babylon. Now I could create my own, you know, I've got to spin that into the multiplication theology that I always like, you know, bang on about. But yeah, so the Tower of Babylon, they're there and they're like, yo, apparently they're like, if you actually read the story, people always say like in the Sunday school version, and they're like, yeah, and everyone spoke the same language, and then for some reason people God made them speak different languages, and then they divided from the tower. The story's like they built a tower to go to heaven, and they were like, we're going to build this tower. No one will be able to stop us. We'll be able to create our own way to heaven. Something like that. I reckon there's so many deep layers on it. The Tower of Babel, man. And at this point, if you read the real story, and it's not the Sunday school kids version, which is like, you know, the simple version, it actually says that there were different tribes and different tongues, but there was a common language. And for some reason, there was a division, and people were like, we're fucking out of here. So, and, you know, I will have to do a study on it and delve deeper into it. But this guy Nick, his theory, I'm pretty sure his theory, it's something like he's like, yo, when people in the tower and everyone like started going, people were like, yo, fuck you, I'm out of here, and they headed up China way, and some went down to India because it was in Babylon's like modern day Baghdad, pretty close to Baghdad city. And I think Saddam Hussein like rebuilt some like Babylon area. Babylon man. Apparently he was on the currency and shit before America took over. It might be different now. I'd imagine it'd be different. I'm sure Saddam Hussein's face isn't on the fucking Iraqi dollars anymore. But anyway, he reckons this dude Nick's like, yo, some people cruised it everywhere and they're like, yo, some people went down to fucking, here and there, come down to Australia and we're like, yo, let's make a fucking didgeridoo, mate. And like, I reckon the Aboriginals got here and they were like, yo, they were just fucking, we made it. They kept it safe for us for a long time. They looked after the land until we finally got here and we're like, yo, crack a fucking schooner out, mate, for me. So they were all good. And some people went everywhere. The people who went fucking here, there, and everywhere. And old mate Nick, he's like, yo, these dudes went up to fucking the Caucasus or something. I think this is where they call Caucasian people, right? Because it's the Caucasus. So it's like if you look on a map and you went up above Iraq, in between Turkey, and you go to like Georgia, there's a little country named Georgia. I remember when Vladimir Putin invaded Georgia like back in 2000 and let's say around 2005. He went up there. He fucked around up there, Putin, anyway. Anyway, that region is called the Caucasus Mountain region. So, like, as people left the Tower of Babel, some people went up there, and then they migrated across to Europe, and that's what this dude's saying. He's like, yes, man. He doesn't even sound Rastafarian, but I think I do the I think I can do the Rastafari. I could do the real African, hello, man. Yo. So they went up there. They went up there and they got fucking, there's terrible weather. It's cold and shit. And then apparently we lost our melanin. And he's like, and it cause fucking blah, 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 blah. All these dramas. Let's see if we can pull it up. What the fuck? Yo, I'm still here. Let's try pull this up. Hopefully we can get the sound and we can listen to a little bit of this bloke. He can rabble on about it himself. I'm not offended by this. I don't think people should be offended. But, apparently he said something about Jewish people as well. And I haven't actually seen the whole thing, but it's kind of funny that, like, I wonder if he didn't say shit about the Jewish people, would have he just, like, fucking got a pass for ragging out on white people, And it's bullshit. This dude, if this dude is taking his weird theology from, like, so there's heaps of weird religious cults in, the African American community, like the Nation of Islam, and they drift off to, like, not even being anything to do with Islam, but they kind of hold on to some weird, onto these ancient stories, and they string together some theology. So it would be strange that this dude would take his theology from the Tower of Babel. He's trying to talk about it, and he's lumping in Jewish people and European people together, but that's not what the fucking Bible says, dude. Like, it talks about Abraham is from Ur, he's a Chaldean from Ur, right? Which is like, it's like Kuwait, around Kuwait area. And then Abraham migrates to Israel. He leaves, I think there's like Nimrod. What's the book? I think it's called the Book of Jasher. You can read and you can get a historical, you can either read the Book of Jasher, or you can get if the Mormons ever come knocking at your door, they have and you get the Pearl of Great Prize and Doctrines and Covenants and shit, right? They'll have a Book of Abraham. Now, that Book of Abraham is just like the Book of Jasher, right? and you can find out a bit more about the story of Abraham and the origins of Israel. So that dude left it's kind of like modern day Iraq, near the Persian Gulf, near modern day fucking Kuwait, right? And Abraham's like, yo, pretty much if you read the book of Jasher, there's like a sick story where his parents were like worshipping idols. So this kind of gives us insight. You're getting a bit of a theological lesson here. And this is non-biblical. This is outside the Bible. This is other biblical stories that are outside the Bible. There's quite a lot of them, if you know your shit. So the book of Jasher tells a story about Abraham's parents had 12 statues, which represent like the 12 constellations, right? And this is the thing. Nimrod's got his kingdom. This is after Babylon, right? I think it was it Nimrod or Nebuchadnezzar? Maybe it was Nimrod. Anyway, I think it was Nimrod. Yeah, let's call it Nimrod. It's either Nebuchadnezzar or Nimrod. Anyway, this is what the Tower of Babel was. It was a pillar up to the stars. So they were worshipping the stars. We can see by reading the book of Jasher, we can go, oh, what was the culture that came from the Tower of Babel? Now, Abraham's parents worshipped 12 statues, which represent the 12 constellations. Right, so they were looking at, and if you read Genesis, it says that the stars and the sun, fourth day of creation, when everyone's like, ha, the sun got created on the fourth day, the sun and the moon. That's impossible. That couldn't have happened. So that's not actually what it says. It's saying that they were like fine-tuned, these constellations, and the heavenly hosts were kind of fine-tuned and set in place for signs and seasons. So, and this is what they were doing. They were like ancient astrologists who would look to the stars for like wisdom and signs and all the shit, right? It was kind of like they were quite smart, these people. And so it's like the ancient knowledges, the ancient wisdoms. This is the kind of stuff that Moses got taught when he was raised by the Egyptians. This is the stuff that Abraham was surrounded by. This is the stuff that the Babylonians, man, they were like smart as fuck. They were looking to the stars because they knew, I think they knew that the serpent in the garden was that he was an alien. He was an interdimensional being. When the devil got booted out of heaven, and his angels, right? They didn't have bodies, so it's like the multiverse. They didn't get sent into this dimension. There's a heap of other dimensions. They went to a different multi-dimension. They didn't have physical bodies. They've created some fucking crazy ass technology, spaceships, and some kind of body to possess. That's our little alien friends. These are the lizard people. The lizard people came was the serpent, and these people in Babylon, they started looking to the stars because they were like pretty much looking to the devil. They were looking to the signs and all the shit. Blasphemy. Yeah, I'm talking. This is theoretical doctrine. I'm just spinning my story here. It's not stick to the Bible, but I'm guaranteeing you this: the story that I'm spinning might be closer to the truth than the science textbook and most people's interpretation of the Bible. Just saying. So we're spinning it up. I know. Yeah. All good. So I'm spinning up a tale so we understand. We got to learn. We're tying in some science, fiction. We're tying in some. It's like Narnia. You know what I mean? It's elaborate. It's amazing. It's more than, when they give me half a page story about a fucking garden, or half a page story about creation, another half a page about a flood, another half a page about the fucking tower, and it's like representing thousands of years and all this crazy stuff happening. We have a license to read between the lines. Okay. So this is what's happening. They are looking the culture of the day in Abraham's time, his family, we know this by the book of Jasher, were worshipping the stars. They were looking to the stars. I believe the 12 statues represent the 12 constellations. They're looking to the stars. That's where Satan fell from. Did he not fall from there? The first Area 51 crash landing, and the lizard man got down there and was like, yo, started fucking things up. But anyway, and the story goes on, if you read the book of Jasher, that Nimrod, who set up his kingdom after Babylon, he's like set up this mad as empire. He's continued on. The nations and tribes are scattering. Abraham's family's there. He's a Chaldean. He's right in the region. His family is fully submersed and in the culture of Babylon, right? Babylon had been, Tower had been, the people had started to leave. People were spread. And doesn't really say that it's like a fucking giant collapse, any of this. I reckon God just put people in people's heart. I think people are like, yo, I'm fucking out of this place. We're out. And I reckon people just bit of something in here, bit of God's wisdom in the heart. I'm just like, we're out of here, man. This is going to get dangerous. They weren't interested. And we can even tell that's exactly what Abraham did. He had a heart for God and was like, I'm out of here. His parents were worshipping the 12 constellations, right? Nimrod looked to the stars. He had his wizards. He had his Magi. I think they're called Magi noodles. The Magi. They're like the same as the three kings that came visited Jesus. These are the same ancient wisdoms that were in Egypt, right? These are the same Babylonian, false religions and spiritual tales. This is what this dude Nick believes in. Nick Cannon. He believes in the same shit. You know what I mean? False doctrine. He's telling the false doctrine. I'm not telling you the false doctrine. I'm just telling you a story that's pretty close to the true story. So Nimrod, he had a vision. He had the Magi, the wizards, they were the astrologists. Just like the three kings that followed the stars and the sign. These people were looking to the stars. The three kings that came to see Jesus' birth, right? They were looking the signs in the heaven. That's what they did. They got their wisdom and knowledge, and they were fucking pretty switched on. Can't call them idiots. And Nimrod, he had his Magi, and they were like, yo. Nimrod had a dream. I think he goes, yo, can you tell me what this dream means? And there was 4 stars got eaten by one star. One brighter star ate the other stars. And they said, what does this mean? And they said, I think there was a story of Abraham. So his dad was like, you need to make a sacrifice to the idols. And Abraham was like, okay, then. And he put a plate of food down at like one of the idol's feet, and he left. So what he did, he went in there and he smashed it up. He smashed up the idols and left the one idol. And his dad's like, what the fuck did you do? You destroyed the idols. Because his dad used to sell these idols. And Abraham's like, no, I didn't do anything. That idol, that God, wanted the offering, so he killed the other gods. And his dad was like, this is blasphemy, blah, 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 blah. His dad kicked him out. His dad wanted nothing to do with him. His dad and his own mother went to Nimrod and told him the blasphemy that he had done, right? And then Nimrod had the dream, and he's like, what the fuck is going on here with the dream, right? So he went to the Magi, the fucking wizards, the ancient wizards, the wise astrologers. They were the gatekeepers of knowledge, the Illuminati. They've been around for ages. And they were like, yo, this is what the dream means, Nimrod. And I think it was Nimrod. Yeah, fucking check. Nimrod. Bang. Yeah, Nimrod. Where the fuck is he? Yeah, he's in the Book of Genesis. I was right. It was fucking Nimrod and not Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar is the king who went mad and after 7 years got his sanity back. Yeah, so Nimrod, he gets the Magi. The Magi are like, yo, we've interpreted the dream. Yeah, it's actually about this dude Abraham, and he's gonna fuck you up. His king, he is gonna be like the father of many nations. He's gonna, and this is a part of the multiplication theology, and this is why this dude's fucking wrong. This is why Nick is wrong, because we were saying about it the other day. How I was like, yo, the Christian race. And people, all these Black Lives Matter, all of this stuff. It's more false doctrine. No, there's the greatest thing here is like there is the Christian story would be like we want you to every one of us can get connected to the Christian race. It's not the white race, not the Jewish race, it's not the black race. It's the Christian race, and it goes back. Yeah, in Australia, if you're a Nimrod, you're a dickhead. Yeah, so it probably goes like all the way back so far. That's how far Nimrod goes back. He's like built into the subculture. I'm sure in other countries when they call you a Nimrod, they mean you're a dickhead. And it goes all the way back to that. It's built into our culture so deeply. The signs are all there. You know what I mean? They're all fucking there. And they're right in the open. Here we go. Oh, white people have adopted adaptive melanin, pale to low sunlight, darker when in the sun. There you go. Well, anyway, yeah, we're gonna go into what he said. So anyway, we're going to the theological story when Abraham, right? Nimrod had the sign, he had the dream, his magi interpreted it. They're like, yo, that story is about Abraham, the young lad who destroyed his father's idols. And he's like, that's it. We're putting out a death. There's he's putting out like a warrant for his death, for his bang. And Abraham's like, I'm fucking out of here. He's like, no way am I worshipping these false idols. And this is a part of the story. This is a part of the multiplication theory. It wasn't just Abraham. Many people, like the Aborigines and the Maoris and the fucking American Indians and the Africans and the Europeans and Abraham, the Jews, they were like, yo, I'm not worshipping these false idols. I'm not worshipping the stars. I want to worship the Creator. The people were still connected through the lineage. People still had in the heart and mind. The Holy Spirit was trying to actively pursue them, and people are like, we're out of here. We're not interested in Babylon. You know what I mean? So the godly people actually got the fuck out of there. Because you'd be like, when you read the story of the Tower of Babel, and you're like, they were divided by their speech. They went and they covered the whole earth. Why? How? It doesn't really explain it. But it's just like Abraham. So Abraham, why the fuck did Abraham get out of there? Why did Abraham leave the region? It didn't happen overnight. People didn't just leave like this. It took generations and generations before people got the fuck out of there, migrated their way down to Australia, down to the Pacific Islands, over to fucking, even Bigfoot got the fuck out of there. Some Bigfoot, they went over to America. Some were the Yowies and they come down to Australia. You know what I mean? Some went up to Russia. Some come up with the powerful white people. They come with us up through the Caucasus and went up to Russia and Siberia and shit and fucked around up there. You know what I mean? So this just went like bang, bang, bang. Like that. And this is the thing. You say, oh, so this is a part of where this dude Nick's got it wrong. No, he said, oh, the fucking Jews and the Europeans or the white people with the no melanin fled up to the Caucasus. And that's what he's banging on about. That's, brother, that's true. That may be true. That is the truth for us, for us. He's pretty much telling a bit of truth, right? There's always a bit of truth for us, but not for the Jewish race. The Jewish race is the story of Abraham. And he went to the promised land. God's like, leave this place and you'll be the father of many nations, all this stuff. And he left and went to, and you know the story. Surely you know the story. Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had his name changed to Israel. And Israel had 12 sons who became the 12 tribes of Israel, right? They were like in the region of Israel, right? And Jacob, or Israel, we'll call him Jacob. His name gets changed to Israel. He has 12 sons. They're living in modern day Israel thousands of years ago. This is ancient Egypt times, thousands of years ago, right? And then there was a famine. So what they did is they sold their son Joseph. The brothers were jealous that Joseph got given a coat by Jacob. Jacob gave his son this beautiful colored coat, like my fucking cardigan that I found at this op shop, right? The old man gave his favorite son this beautiful coat, and the other 11 brothers got jealous. They were like, fuck him, that bastard. And they went out, they took him hunting, and they what they did is they fucking sold him into slavery. They took his beautiful, nice colored cardigan, right? And they had it covered in blood and shit, and they told the old man that he got caught and attacked by an animal and killed, right? So Joseph went and he got fucking sold into slavery. He got has like an epic adventure of a life, old Joseph, right? He eventually becomes the governor of Egypt. After all the shit happens in his life, he eventually makes it to governor of Egypt. Now, at the time, this is years and years later, he's a grown man. He becomes the governor. He becomes like the prime minister. Trump's up in the pyramid. Trump's like the pharaoh. He's like kind of like fucking Pence. You know what I mean? So Joseph becomes like Pence. He's kind of like running the show and fucking, you know, in a way, he's doing most shit. He's like, yo, there's going to be a famine, and so what we're going to do is there's going to be 7 years of famine. There's going to be 7 years fat and then 7 years thin. Right? So he goes fucking saves up 7 years, He collects all the fucking grains in the storehouse in Egypt in preparation for the fucking famine, right? And bang, what happens 7 years later? The famine comes. And Joseph's brothers, they're up there with the old man Abraham, right? And they're like, fuck, there's a famine going on. So they come down to Egypt to buy from the storehouse of Egypt. So the story goes, they don't know their brother is now the governor. And they come, they're like, yo, buying shit. And he's like, hey, boys, it's actually me, you fucking bastards. Nah, he's like, I forgive yous anyway. And the Pharaoh goes, yo, right, your fucking brothers and your family are welcome to stay in Egypt, and we will look after them until the famine's done. So this is pretty much how the Jews ended up in Egypt, right? Because the Jews are the 12 tribes of Jacob. There's 12 sons of Jacob who his name got changed to Israel, right? And then they eventually stay in Egypt. They eventually they multiply, and they get enslaved by Egypt. And then you know the story of fucking Moses and all that. That's the fucking story. So Nick is lied to the world. He's fucking talk shit. Let's see if we can pull it up. Tell me if the fucking sound works. I'm pretty sure there's a video here. Where does he say it, Nicky boy? Fuck, I've scrolled right past it. Here he is. I can't really hear it.
brother's beautiful spirit.
Right.
You know my ultimate mission.
Right.
When you know
Can you just hear this?
These are brothers that trying to help the community, but we got to get their attention first.
Right. I got a brother.
Tell me if you
mine,
can hear
Black
it.
Dot. He wrote a book called Hip Hop Decoded.
Okay.
He said in the book that they take the lowest essence of our culture and give it maximum exposure. You understand? Black Dot.
That's the
said
fucking
the
shit
lowest
rap.
essence
That's
of
the
our
shit
culture
rap
and give it
music.
maximum exposure.
If you
So
carried
that's
on
why
like,
we
if I was
glorify
such a fucking
Exactly.
glorify our gang
And it's
banging.
over. And it's over. And
this
it's over.
guy glorifies gang banging. This dude's music, we just listened to a little 30-second clip of his music, and he's like a cop giving him shit. He's like carrying on, like pretending to be like, I have to say, a scumbag. And it's like, bro, I think these guys are having an intelligent conversation where it's like, yeah, listen to this shit, African American community. Anyway, I don't even disagree with most of this. I listened to probably like 10 minutes of it today, right at the very start. This like goes for an hour and a half. This interview, I listened to about 10 minutes. I'm like, this seems like a decent show. This guy seems like he kind of is quite interesting, and so don't like write him off. I'm not writing this dude off, and gonna fucking give heaps of shit to him. There's a lot of like I was saying. There's so many different theological crazy doctrines floating around in fucking like Nation of Islam shit, like the Malcolm, like the theology is really
For the top. For many reasons, and you mentioned one, for the laugh, the bag.
Right.
Now it could be for some other reasons.
Right.
I want to buy my mama a house, and we but all it's taking place. We're falling right into it.
Right.
The
But
ultimate
it's
plan.
always been that, because that's the reason. Like, I want you to say that again, because I want to go all the way back to Step and Fetch It.
Mhm.
I want to go all the way back to
But if you went back there, some of them brothers didn't have a choice, so to speak,
right,
because
But
of the degree of poverty.
But do we still have the choice now? Does
just gonna listen to it.
Kodak Black, they
Yeah.
don't have
Don't
a
listen to
choice,
me.
but because they're living their truth. All they saying is, this is all I know. So
on all of my material, I put my phone number out there and I put it out free. They have a choice, bro, because they could easily call me and say, because now that I got.
But before, they don't know Professor Griff. They all they know is the drug dealer and they community.
Okay.
They all they because you, again, as much as we want to say we have access to all of this, the average 14, 15-year-old dude that grow up in Florida, that grow up in Louisiana.
When does he get to the offensive part?
Around them.
Exactly.
They don't know how, man. I don't know how to work them. You know how many times I heard that? I don't know that shit. Hey, dog, this all I know.
What the?
Bitches later on.
Yeah, that's the mentality.
That's
exactly.
Where's it going?
You crack is open until you can get the Warriors tab.
That's why I put the book together the way I put it.
Where the fuck is this dude talking?
You understand what I'm saying? And
the shit.
That's now. But when you can see, and that's why
it goes for another 10 minutes something. Another 25 minutes trying to. So they listen to an hour and a half podcast to try catch this dude out.
I come from the other aspect of it. I came in and like, I don't want people to find where I came from. Where I came from. When you first heard Nick Cannon,
this is the whole thing.
The little guy. Yeah.
How the fuck did? How do we not find this?
You don't know that I come from.
They should have. They should have fucking time stamped it right on the offense.
Exactly.
I'm jumping forward a bit. Let's try to find it. I want to hear the melanin shit. I want to hear the fucking theological steps. There's theological steps that got him here, and now I just fucked it. Anyway, I can directly quote it. I've got it written right here.
Is to love and to understanding,
right,
and knowledge supreme, wisdom.
Is he gonna start fucking getting it out now?
Mhm.
And if that's
This
what our
sounds like
message
it.
to spread through the cosmos,
Mhm.
why all of this division? Why all compartment?
What the fuck's going on with this shit video? Maybe YouTube's not liking it. Maybe they're like, you are not allowed to fuck. Not liking it, are they? Having trouble connecting. The unset connection. Fuck! Am I still there, people? I hope so. Anyway, maybe it's not. Read the fucking thing. Here's the direct statement about his fucking. There we go. So he reckons. Yo, can you hear me in the fucking comment section? What? Because my internet, something signs just popped up saying no internet connection. You're all shorts of a mess, lol. Old mate got his Malcolm X thing going on. Yeah, he does have his Malcolm X thing going on. Yo, dude. Don Jolly gave me 10 lemons. Thanks, brother.
We're the original.
Is me fucking internet working?
They want what we have.
All choppy.
What we have to give is love.
Fuck, it's just in this video, is it? Anyway, we're gonna read what he fucking said, because maybe it's just not loving it tonight. He goes, our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why white people fear us was because of the lack that they have of it. He explains, when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, fuck, now I'm turning this shit off.
Why does it matter?
What are we getting here?
Christian? Why does it matter?
Are we getting it?
Has
Here we go.
in their skin than the other person?
I think the thing that the most
This is the shit.
Muhammad said, it makes
See?
devils is the fact
Elijah Muhammad. This is all fucking Nation of Islam shit.
doctrine, a teaching, coupled with the fact that you and I said they had to survive, so they did the things that they became and who they are. There was a reason why they shot the
But
noses
average.
off Abu how the Sphinx.
Right.
Different people called it different things.
Put it in the back of the museum.
Exactly. There's a reason why
They shot it off
they,
because he was an African nose.
destroyed the woman when they saw the black man and woman side by side in Egypt. There was a reason why they took certain information, stole it, copied it, put their names on it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They never wanted that particular information.
Their image of God.
Exactly. To get out. That
I heard that
got
the
out.
medical evidence that suggests that the pharaohs were like
On the
a
planet,
red-headed
being
white
the
people.
inferior.
Right.
I
You
don't know.
understand what I'm
I
saying?
don't really.
You
It's not really
cannot do
important.
what they've done on the planet in such a short period of time, being the inferior.
But why does it all matter? If we're
It's
talking
so
about the source,
stupid.
we're getting to the source of it all, of the original man and the original purpose is to enlighten everyone. Why does it matter?
There was
How is
love
this?
in
How
my
are the
family.
people
My
offended
dad
by
was
this?
there, my mom was there, my brother was there, my sister was there. Instinctively, we all
Choppy.
knew our roles.
It's choppy.
It
It's
was a
coming through
time.
my end good.
Right.
My dad's my dad.
This
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
In the human family, who's not comfortable with being themselves?
Right.
We could take a look at it through that lens.
Okay.
Let's
I see where you
unpackage
go.
that now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm comfortable with being myself, then I don't have to say you're evil, you're wicked. I don't have to write that in my books. I don't have to destroy your history.
I don't have to try to borrow and get something
Right.
or steal yours because I'm comfortable with mine.
Exactly. I don't have to say because I'm lighter and whiter, I'm better. I don't have to do all these things. But because I don't feel comfortable in my position,
The idea of supremacy.
the idea of having to survive, I got to come up with the plan.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
See, now,
So if I'm not comfortable within the grand design, if I don't know my position in the grand design, then
exactly.
right.
And the
good
grand
now.
design
Oh, that's good.
included
It's
them.
good. It's good.
It did.
It included everyone in love.
He looks
Right.
like he's in a
You just
burqa.
gotta play your part.
That's
man.
right.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
So
I wasn't trying to be my
I
sister.
still
didn't
find
wanna
this
put on the
interesting.
dress of the person.
So
I
ultimately,
like
book.
would
I
not
didn't-
be
I wasn't
offended
trying to
by
be
this at
mom.
all.
right. So the answer
Like
to
as
the
if a
question
fucking
is,
African person
not
would
the
be
ones
offended by
that
my
are
theology. I'm not offended by his
creating
theology.
the
America's a
categories
free
and
country.
No, we're no,
categories
Him
and
getting the boot
classifications.
is
no,
We've
we're
been
not.
we've
It's
been
an attack
we've
on
been taught
freedom
to
of
think
speech
that, but ultimately it's their
and
system.
Even
freedom
though
of
they were
religion.
different
So
tribes, we didn't carve up the
it's
land.
un-American
Right.
to have this
Just
dude's channel
Tribalism
kicked
was
off.
just more about we are who we
No,
are.
that,
It's
that was
existence.
that was culture.
It's culture. This
And
is
and the,
what
and the root word,
I was born
right?
right here. You were born right there. Let's exchange what I got over here,
Exactly.
and therefore, and then if there ever is any conflict, because conflict occurs,
Mhm.
we will figure that's
Right.
survival of the fittest comes into play,
Yeah,
Right.
and then
it is pretty
ultimately,
funny.
I exist where I exist. You exist where you exist.
Right. And respect that.
Yeah.
And
And
but
that's all I'm asking you to do
right.
is respect my boundaries. I don't want to come. I
And
don't
then
want to
they,
come and take over your
who the
land.
Exactly.
fuck
I
kicked
can. We
this
can.
dude's
We can
channel off? They
engage.
should have,
But
by
I'm from
pulling
where
it
I'm
down,
from.
they've
You're from where you're from.
Right. But
they
there's
should
some
have
things that
played
we
this
have
on
in common that we
MTV,
didn't even have to
not
talk
kicked
about.
him off
Because we didn't
MTV.
outright rape
Right.
and rob and
Right.
steal and do these things. If
There's
if a
principles.
couple of your
There's
cows
morality.
came over and
I
destroyed
thought
my
they were
vegetables,
anti-Aussie.
then
Yeah,
somebody has to pay for that. So you got
I
to
don't
come
know
rip
if
this
they're
land.
anti
Right.
anything.
Somebody
They're
has
just
to
trying
say,
to
no, it
piece
wasn't that. You had
together
to
some
repair my crops that you destroyed.
Right.
You
pseudo
understand?
history
Someone looked at that
or
and says, "Well, look, I could take thousands and millions of them
Right.
across the water, brainwash them, and I could build an entire nation for myself."
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You see, that's a
I would
child
make up the
Right.
story,
not
but
knowing its place in the human family.
I make up
And they're
stories
running
like
rampant.
this every
Now that the
episode.
parents done went to sleep and
So
been put to sleep, the children are running the house. And
The
that's what we're
littles.
seeing. The littles
The
are
littles
running
are
the
running
house
the
right
house
now. Exactly. On all levels.
on all levels.
On the cultural level. The root word of culture is cult. Cult is not a bad word.
yeah, Kev, you're a
Come on now.
legend.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
So, and then when you look at occult,
Mm.
just means hidden.
Right. Right.
If you didn't put on the turban and whatever, they
Right.
don't know what culture you from.
Right. Facts.
If you didn't call yourself Nick Cannon, but you went by one of your original names from one of your original tribe,
Right.
it's like it's all love. But see, they can't respect that
They
though.
can't respect
You
that.
know why? Because you represent a man that's woke up.
Right. Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
As well as you. So, and that's where I want to dive in here real quick because there are so many misconceptions
Right.
about who Professor Grant
This is some Book of Mormon
There's
shit.
a lot of
I do like
Crack
it.
the book open.
and
I would
I
love
wanna
to get
dig
this dude's
just
book
for a
on the
moment
table and
because
read it.
you've only been allowed to tell a portion of your story.
Right.
And then obviously we know within the media, they spin it the way that they want to spin it.
Right.
And they look at you as dangerous. They look at you
No,
as
I need to look
someone
it
on
up.
the same levels of someone
Yeah,
that they need to be
Yakub.
silenced in
I'm
those
fucking looking up
COINTELPRO,
Yakub, man.
type of
Right.
scenarios. But even
Yakub.
like to the idea, like people don't know that one, you're a veteran.
Right.
You
I
were
was in the military. Right.
You were the police.
I was military police. Right.
So,
And I worked
Ooh,
in prison.
Yakub,
Right,
Nation of
right.
Islam. Yeah, this is
So,
the shit they're into,
coming
man.
from Long Island, coming from
Oh, there's
someone
some
who
fucking mad
you
shit
know,
on
let me ask you
here.
a question. Are you proud to be an American? Are you proud to be from the land that you are from? And who
Am I
is
just gonna have to pause this for a second and I gotta read to you about Yakub? Yakub, Nation of Islam. In the belief of the Nation of Islam, Yakub was a black scientist who lived 6,600. It says 6,600. Why can't it be 6,660 years ago? Come on, man. They were fucking so close. They would have made that story. They would have made it just that little bit better. You fucking idiots. And began the creation of the white race. He is said to have done this through a form of selective breeding, inferred to as grafting, while living on the island of Patmos. This is on Wikipedia. Fucking hell, now it's like so tiny, the writing here. You can barely fucking read it. The Nation of Islam theology states that Yakub is the biblical Jacob. That's what I was saying before. Remember how I was like, yo, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob? Who is the Abraham, Isaac, Jacob? Jacob had 12 sons who are the 12 tribes of Israel. So this is like fucking crazy theology. And like the start of this episode, I unleashed my interpretation. I call it multiplication theology. And like, if this is the thing, people will be like, "Oh, fucking blah blah blah, I fucking don't want to hear it, Dusty." It's like, hang on a minute. If these people can create some fucking mad theology, why can't I? And I am, damn it. It's the multiplication theory. I need to like get this shit written down. I'm gonna like get it all down and then tell my pastor and be like, "Yo, I'm creating my own church." Fucking yo. Anyway, the Nation of Islam theology states that Yaqub is the biblical Jacob. The story has caused disputes within the NOI during its history. Under its current leader, Louis Farrakhan, the NIA, the Nation of Islam, continues to assert that the story of Yaqub is true, claiming that modern science is consistent with it. There you fucking go. And I think like the Nation of Islam is not actually, I don't think they even pray to Allah. I don't think they even pray to Mecca. I don't think they do any of that. It's just like it's new. But this is the thing we need to understand. I think MTV has kicked this dude, right? MTV, we're not fucking happy about this guy and his fucking... Yeah, so Nick Cannon sacked by MTV over anti-Semitic conspiracy theory amid racism storm. It's pretty much that it's more anti-white, but looking at the story here about the god Yaqub, them saying that Yaqub is Jacob, they're pretty much saying that Israel is not even, or the biblical Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the story that we told at the beginning of this, they're pretty much saying that's non-existent. So, like, I don't know, is that racism? But see, this is the thing. This is an attack on freedom of speech. This is an attack on freedom of religion. These are the foundational things that make America free. And this is the things that make Western society free and great. And it makes it great for me because I want to preach Jesus. I want to preach Jesus and get people connected to the truth. So I love freedom of speech. I love freedom of religion. I love the West because in the West I can be consistent to my personal religion, my my own theology, the multiplication theology, and my the Christian race. That's what I call it, the Christian race. You're right, man. We need to go to the mat for these stupid ass religions. The thing is we as fucking ridiculous as and insane as it is, it's a part of Western. This is the thing. This is the thing about Western culture. Western civilization is the empowerment of the individual. We have freedom of speech, freedom of religion. We created the freest, most prosperous nations on earth. America is the freest of them, and then followed by the Commonwealth, the British Empire, the Commonwealth. We're still here, baby. We're still here. The story ain't finished. The story ain't finished. Don't listen to them lies. The story ain't finished. I reckon the story is continuing for the British, and like we're still in South Africa. We're in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, UK, America. I reckon there's still a cultural claim. The empire lives. And I'm just going to stir you. I'm going to stir you up. Like this guy in his fucking interpretation, I'm going to tell you mine. And don't silence this guy, because when you silence this guy, then you give them a license to go, well, fucking Dusty's there and he's saying how the British Empire is more powerful and prosperous than any time in history. Dusty's talking about the multiplication theology. Dusty's talking about the Christian race, not the white race, not the black race, not the brown race, talking about the Christian race. That's what I'm all about. Means fight for their right. Not sure if that saying translates to Aussie. Yeah, it's like, I don't agree or believe what this guy is saying. I don't agree or believe in it, but I will fucking fight for this dude's right to say it. Like, dead set. We got to fight for this man's right to fucking say it. Because I'm going to stand here and say what I'm going to say. What are they going to do? Cry and bitch and kick me off? Fucking, oh, I can't handle it. This is the political correct bullshit, bro. This guy he's been put up with the political correct left-wing losers. These are this I keep telling people. The political correct people are the modern-day Pharisees. They are the elitist extremists who are like, this is the fucking way it has to be. And if it's not exactly like this, deplatformed, losing your job, tearing down your statue, we're rewriting they don't like this guy's version of history. They want to let people tear down statues. The hypocrisy of it all. They'll tear down the statues of real history. They don't like the real history. They'll tear them down. At the same time, they want to tear this guy's interpretation of history. It's only their interpretation. It's the left-wing radical people, the same people who crucified Jesus, the same spirit, the same evil is still today. Still today, we're dealing with the same fucking thing. Anyway, let's keep listening to this man.
Professor Griff in America today.
In America.
No, I'm not proud to be an American. I don't want
no
pride.
Fuck.
I don't have that pride. I'm not prideful about.
I guess like these dudes had their show taken. They've booted him off YouTube. Sorry. MTV's kicked him. How? This is the thing. I believe in civic nationalism. When you promote freedom in the West, when we say the Constitution, the Magna Carta, we have these systems set up of freedom of individual. When we have that, when we promote it, when we're like, yo, you get a vote, you get a say, you get taxation with representation, you get the common law. We're all equal under the law. Black, white, rich, poor, king, queen, president, prime minister, billionaire, CEO, bogan. We're all equal under the law. You get a vote. If you do break the law, you get judged by a jury of 12. You have it. You can engage in the marketplace. You can put in your effort and decide how much you want to engage in the marketplace. If you want to work 10 hours a week and live on an income of 10 hours a week, that's fine. Some people work on a 70-hour week income. Some people are trying to make the money. Some people don't want to. That's choice. That's freedom. But if we stop promoting freedom, a guy is going to be there like this guy and be like, I'm not proud of the West. I'm not proud to be an American. Why? Because he hasn't been the civic nationalists, the people who are the patriots. We haven't gone out and said, yo, brother, this is the land of the free. Look at the freedoms. Look how long we've been building this thing back to the Magna Carta. Back to the Magna Carta. When we got the common law, the beginning. That was the beginning. The beginning of the fight for freedom. And if you don't stop fighting for freedom, the Magna Carta was like the beginning of the West. It was the start of the West. Bang. And I reckon God in heaven was like, we're going to make these people are going to have the greatest empire on earth. Because they have it's not going to be pretty because the people, as soon as, if God was like, yo, them people, as soon as the people are involved, because we have freedom to fail, we're going to fuck it up. Yeah. So heaps of mistakes. I'm never surprised. I'm never surprised when they're like, this happened. I speak to local Aboriginal people around here and they're like, did you know this happened just down there? Kid got buried up to his head and they kicked his head off 200 years ago. And I go, that is fucked, mate. But I'm actually not surprised because I understand human freedom for right and wrong, good and evil. But I do think, and I think when they said, oh, we want this Magna Carta, and they're like, yo, I reckon God was like, holy fuck, these guys, these people who have the potential for right and wrong, good and bad, we're going to give them the greatest empire, the greatest influence. So they're going to create a place where people can hear the truth about Jesus and get the Holy Spirit and get empowered and become a part of the Christian race. That's what I believe. But this guy doesn't know. He doesn't know the freedom, the plan for freedom for him to be able to be free to decide. They're talking theology, they're talking and they're saying that thing, and I believe in their right to do that. I believe that's the way the Creator designed. This is the part of the freedom of God's gift of life. Go back to Wakanda and have a gander, mate. Yeah, did I buy that? Nice sweater, Dusty. Did you buy that from slaves in China? No, this cardigan I got from an op shop, and it's made in Australia. Bang. Some old bloke. This thing's probably like 20 years old, man. Probably 30 years old. When I was a youth leader for at this Pacific youth group, I was a youth leader there for 6 years, and what we'd do every Friday night, there was like the church hall, and next to it was an op shop, and this old lady, right? I'll be like, yo, the boys they were like low socioeconomic, broke as kids, and they'll be in hand-me-down. So the older brothers would always get like the new clothes, and the younger brothers would get the hand-me-downs. So they'll be like stained up, didn't fit them right. And I'll be like, right, we're going to the op shop. So every Friday we'd go in the op shop, and I'd be like, whatever you want. And I had a deal with the old lady Dot, and I was like, whatever they wanted, we'd just slap that. We'd just leave the notes on the counter, on the bench, and bang. So we'd get in there and we'd have a look, and I would score the maddest jackets. Heaps of it's like made in Britain, made in Australia. Just awesome, fucking awesome stuff. What else have we got in here? Dude, people are so fucking backwards. They think a punch in the eye is evil, while getting people fired and throwing their life into a free fall is justice. Yeah, there's some fucking weirdos out there. Like, they've got this guy fired. How un-American. How that is an assault on Western society. He didn't go out there and, like, this dude ain't doing what, these scum out there rioting. Scum who are rioting. Scum who are anti-law and order, who are out there these days rioting, carrying on like fuckwits. This dude didn't do any of that. He's just saying his opinion. If more people should be like this guy, out there having a say. We don't have to agree, man. It could be fucking out there, whatever he's saying, but he ain't going out there fucking destroying shit, stealing people. He's just having a say. And they've sacked him from MTV. What else have we got? That's right. Australia is not racist. Australia is not homophobic. Australia is a holy nation that's being crucified. I'd say that's pretty true, man. That's the funny thing. Like I say here all the time, I'm like, yo, I'm a Christian. I'm a part of the Christian race. I believe this Bible. I'll never capitulate from this Bible. I do believe in marriages between a man and a woman. I don't like the LGBT, what they want to teach kids. I don't want any of that. I oppose it with all my life. I'll never capitulate. I'll go to fucking jail. They can deport my ass. I will never capitulate to the degeneracy from the LGBT, right? But do you know what? I will never pick on a homosexual. I'll never give them grief. If they ever need help, I'll fucking help them in a heartbeat. I'll help them. If I was in a shop and a dude's like had a gun to the gay dude's head and he's like, I want all the money in the till. This guy gets it, and and I know he's a gay. He's got a fucking gay flat badge on his shirt, big gay fucking thing on his shirt. I'll be like, hey brother, take me instead. I'll die instead of the gay guy, because you know what, he made that gay man. He probably doesn't know Jesus. I'll be like, I'll go. Hey man, I'll go in his place, and like, I'll never promote the homosexual lifestyle. Never promote gay marriage. But I would help a gay person if there's a dude and he, hey man, could you please help me? Or, oh, you see him struggling. I don't care if they're gay. I'll help them out. But I'm never gonna promote that shit. I'm always gonna oppose the LGBT as an organization, but I'd help a gay person. Just like that, I oppose Black Lives Matter as a movement. But any black person, I'll help them just like I'd help one of my brothers. You know what I mean? So that's the way it is. And like, that's the way it is in Australia. Just like we're saying here, Australia is not Australia is not racist. Australia is not homophobic. Australia is a tag team body slam freedom. And that's the strange thing about this, is how they have. It's like they don't give a fuck that this dude's gone after white people, because it seems to me, you know, like if we go back and we go, yo, how the fuck did the Europeans get there? It's like, yeah, they pretty much, I'm pretty sure the scientific modeling, and they go, yeah, well, they actually migrated up through the Caucasus. They went this way, and there's like a science behind it, how we lost the melanin in because there's fewer hours of daylight out there. The UV light. I think they say in Australia, because the Cancer Council comes to workplaces in Australia, like tradies, guys who work in the sun. We had him. Our boss was like, "We're bringing in the Cancer Council to talk to us about sun safety." And they were like, Australia, because we're like a 85% European population, maybe it's more than that. And they're like, we have the highest rate of skin cancer on the earth. And they're like, the UV rays in Australia, it's like 80%. I think they said the UV rays in Europe in summertime are about 14. Guess what they are in Australia in wintertime? They're about 61. Something like that. This is I heard this, let's say 8 years ago. Something like that. So they're like, here's the thing. There's less of the stuff that's getting through the ozone in the European nations, and we would have I think when when the African slaves went to America, right, and there was like the abolitionists and people like helping them. So there was like godly good people like, yo, this isn't right. These people are made in the image of God. There were Christians there who were like, yo, this is fucked up. And there's always been a battle on evil theology, you know what I mean? Because there are fucking people who are like tried to use the Bible to justify slavery and shit, or they're like, oh, black people are the fucking the mark of Cain, because the story of Cain and Abel, and they're like, you're cursed and you've got some mark. And some insane, weird people have, the freedom. People, we got to remember, the Bible this is a misinterpretation. There's so many misinterpretations. These guys have a misinterpretation. I'm sharing you my interpretation. That's a part of freedom, man. That's a part of Western civilization, man. But there were Christians there who were like, yo, abolitionists, are like, we fucking don't like this stuff. These people made in God's image. People took them, the Africans, up to Canada. And up in Canada, there's a thing called rickets. It's like some disease. I think you get, is it vitamin D that comes from the sun? Yeah. Is it vitamin D that comes from the sun? Yeah, vitamin D. And there's a thing called rickets. And the guys, rickets, vitamin D, bang. So people were the slaves, the Africans who were like taken up to Canada because the people were like, yo, we want to fucking help you. Saying good. The freedom fighters, the good and godly people who were fighting them. And then they got up to Canada and they were like, got this disease called rickets. Rickets is the softening and weakening of bones in children usually because of an extreme and prolonged vitamin D deficiency. Rare inherited problems also cause rickets. Vitamin D helps your children's body absorb calcium and phosphorus from food. So this is the thing. This is the thing about, like, I'm pretty sure for the Africans who got brought over to America in the slave trade, and when the good godly people were like, yo, we want to help them escape to the north, to Canada and shit. And these people got rickets. They had this vitamin D deficiency and it fucked them up. So this is the thing. Scientifically, we know when when Babylon happened, or let's call it Babylon, the double of Babylon, man, happened, and they fled up through the Caucasus, and they went over to Europe and Russia and Siberia and shit. There was the same situation. This is the same situation that happened to the North Americans, slave descendants who migrated up to North America, the North, Canada and shit. They got rickets. So the thing is, it'd be like people who, it's not evolution people. This is the thing. This is my theology. This is my interpretation, the multiplication theory. It's not that the people are like, well, people died, and the people who died who didn't have an ability for their melanin to adapt, they all died off, and the people who were more prone for their melanin to adapt to the lack of sunlight, who came and migrated up through the Caucasus, they actually were the ones who were procreated. The natural origin, the survival of the species dictated that the people naturally would prefer to breed with people who had an ability for the melanin to adapt to the climate, and gave them an ability to be able to work in the harsh climate. And this has led to the further procreation and the handing down the genetics that came for the people who survived in that climate. And some people call it evolution. I don't call it evolution. I call it multiplication. The people who could multiply, the people who multiplied, the multipliers continued on. They kept multiplying. That's biblical. That's what the Bible calls it. And that's where we read the Bible and go, oh, Genesis 1. And God created life in the waters, and he said to them, be fruitful and multiply. Oh, and then he created the land-dwelling creatures, and he said, be fruitful and multiply. And then he said the last thing he created was humans, and he said, I'll be fruitful and multiply. Okay. How did that happen? Oh, it's through multiplication, the handing down of the survival of the fittest is false doctrine. It's the multipliers. See how the Bible was right and we just misinterpreted it? Yo, cool story, eh? So anyway, let's keep listening to this dude.
In this particular country.
Right.
I'm glad that I came back to connect with my brothers and sisters here in America that was here long before Chris and the boys got here,
And that's
long
not
before America
say
Vespucci,
that
long before all of them people got here.
because
We were already here.
right. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm glad to come back and
There's
see
a
my
difference between pride and glad. That's how I always like the. I always like,
exactly.
you can be glad to be, but you don't have to have pride in it because
Exactly.
pride. There's a lot of ego within.
Right. We're forced to defend this land, a land that we can't even grow crops in to feed ourselves. All right. Thanks to Monsanto and the rest of them, but that's another story.
That's another Cannon's class.
Exactly.
You can.
But I'm
Kanye
saying-
West is buying land. And you can buy land. They could buy land. They could do it. There's no excuse. Well, look. The patriots, the people who believe in the West, the people who believe in the Magna Carta, the people who believe in the common law, people who believe in meritocracy, we hate the same things that these people hate. We want the West to be free, where these people, you should be able to engage in the marketplace. There should be perfect freedom in the marketplace. I don't know if there's been. I wouldn't be surprised. Filter it through this Bible. Each individual person has the knowledge of good and evil, the ability to self-destruct and be evil, just like the garden story. So would I be surprised that some crazy shit like some kind of economic discrimination could happen? Yeah, it's completely possible. So I always got to remember myself. I always filter it through the Bible and go, yeah, it's fucking fully possible. Absolutely possible. Maybe, yeah. But it's not what I want. It's not what the patriots want. It's not what the proud Western chauvinists want. No, we want freedom. We want freedom, man. A freedom even to fail. We want Garden of Eden God's story, how he's like, yo, you can do whatever you want. You can even eat of this fruit of knowledge of good and evil. If you eat it, you'll surely die, but you're still free to do that. There was freedom, man. If you believe in the West, I reckon that's why God, he looks down the West and he's like, yo, keep going, boys. Keep fighting freedom. Because he wants us to be free. I'm a species. You're a result of inner species. Okay. I just need to let these guys talk and finish it out.
I have tribal pride. My father's Blackfoot Native American.
Okay.
All right. I got greater than the tribe, though. The greater tribe, Black people.
Mm-hmm.
I have pride. And I'm proud to say I'm connected to all of the carbon, copper, melanated people across the globe. And we have something in common.
Why isn't he connected to everyone?
We're talking about to the people who don't.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me anyway.
In that, who want more of the melanin.
Exactly. And the way they see about getting the melanin is going through, please don't get offended, sisters, going through the Black woman. The only way they can enter into the hereafter is through the Black woman, by dropping and planting that seed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you come along and say, sister,
so like white dudes who go with black sheilas.
Seriously, that can be your compliment.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Seats,
the lighter and the darker. Who has more melanin in that?
Set that in motion with the Willie Lynch letter.
Right.
See, but every time they see any glimpse
So
of
these
us,
dudes are like
back to
black
ourselves, connect back
supremacists
to
in a
the
way.
self.
Like the
And then
doctrine
I
has
think my
caused
wife
black
said it better.
supremacy.
Shout out to Soleil.
Right.
But
She
I don't want to
the
silence
journey
them.
of the self through the self back to the self.
I don't want them
Right.
to be kicked off
So you
MTV.
understand that dynamic is like, wow. Okay, I've been locked upside the head, put to sleep. I was the God then.
Right.
I've been put to sleep. Now I'm waking up. I don't even realize I'm a God, but I'm settling on being a nigga.
Right.
No, see, that's the journey of the self. Now
Right.
I got to get back to the self. So
Right.
guess what
I
happens?
agree. I
Right.
agree. Like, I don't like it when I was a youth leader for 8 years. When my young youth boys would call each other niggers, and I'd listen to the shit music, I'd be like, that is unchristian. Don't fucking degrade yourselves. Like, I understand giving each other shit, And and there's like a weird thing people try to justify. They'll be like, oh, but in hip hop culture, this is what that means. But even this guy, I agree with him on here. Don't fucking I don't call other white people and degrade white people. I don't degrade people like that. You know what I mean? I think there is a certain amount of self-talk that everyone should be like, yo, you can get up off your lazy ass, Dusty. I look in the mirror, like, you can get up off your lazy ass and get out there and do something. You can do it. You're made in the spirit of the multiplication, God's image. He spoke multiplication into the existence of mankind. That's who you are. Go and fucking do it. You lazy piece of shit. Like, get up there. Have a fucking go, you mug. That's what I say. I wouldn't say call myself a fucking slave or, some fucking degenerate who was a racist to white people or whatever. Some fucking nihilist, some kind of pessimist invents some word. I don't even have it in my vocabulary. I don't even fucking know. Because I wouldn't fucking keep it in the back of my mind to throw around at people in my life. Maybe I'll call people I guess we call each other cunt in Australia. So people might be like, you call each other, you're like, hey, you going, cunt? They'll be like, isn't that just as derogatory, Dusty? You say it all the time. I think I wrote that on my check it out, cunts, on my Parler post I did the other night. So maybe that's some equivalent. There could be some equivalent there. You know what I mean? Some cultural bogan. They're like the black bogan version where we're like, hey, go, cunt, and they're like, hey, go, nigger, and all this. Like, maybe. But I feel like calling someone a cunt is not as in our. I think there was some funny meme that I'm drifting off. I need to listen to this. My missus is gonna strangle me and be like,
and Peanut and Day them back to themselves. Guess who gives me the most opposition? The same people I'm trying to wake up.
Exactly.
Who's the dude wanting to go on me, wanting to rob me? Who's the dude that shot the window out of the car I was in? I'm going on my way to Vegas from LA.
Right.
Who are the people that burned my house down right here on the west end of Atlanta? Who are the people that poisoned me with the drink? Who are the people that made me impotent?
Me.
For the same people I'm trying to save.
Right.
Texting Tim Wilms.
Can't piss and blood and all this other kind of stuff for 6 months.
Right.
Because
deadbeat.
Because I'm speaking the truth.
Yeah, you call yourself a bogan. I know.
Yeah. Because I lived it.
I'm talking shit. I was descending.
We're getting thrown under the bus by the rest of the brothers.
I'm fucking missing this because of fucking Tim Wilms messaging me.
Wait a minute.
Let me brainwash and desensitize this brother so much that I can turn him against his own that's trying to enlighten.
Exactly. But I'm going to say this.
Whoa, man, don't knock the black music. Take a listen to a song called Holler at Me, K Rhino, or Somebody Lied by... Yeah, that's some rap music youth group should listen to. Yeah, I agree. There are good rap songs and there is some good music out there. But some of the shit out there, I do think is just fucking garbage. There's like a weird thing like reggae, I like because it's funny, it's fun, that it's like not too serious. Rock, punk. You look at like AC/DC, they're wearing dressed like a fucking kid at school. And it's like, or Steel Panther, great example of a funny fucking rock band, or Poison. They like dress like long hair and makeup and shit. I'm like, yo. And or punk music. I listen to punk music all day at work, and they're just like, oh, they're not really. It's like, Australians, all let us rejoice. That's how we should sing our anthem. Not like you go to the footy and they sing the anthem like Australians, all let us. And I'm thinking like, it's a bit too serious, mate. It's just not me. So if I'm singing the anthem, I'm like, Australians, all let us rejoice. Or I'm listening to punk music without just having a go. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, yeah, like D12, Slim Shady, Bone Thugs. It's kind of like they seem to be a bit like, it wasn't so serious. Some of this rap music is so like trying, it's like a desperate attempt to prove that they're tough or hard or cool. And I'm like, it just comes across try hard to me, and I don't really appreciate it. I'm like, what? If I go to a nightclub and you like listen to this music and like people like trying to be tough and hard, you'd be like, I'm like, what? Then work me ass off all week to be surrounded in this environment of fuckheads. You want to go and listen to some funny fucking fun music and be like, yeah, and drinking and like dancing, carrying on like like you're fun. It's funny. You're kind of taking the piss. It's supposed to be light-hearted. So it's all too serious for me, this rap music. That's why I have no appreciation for most of it. I could make a rap playlist. Like I'm pretty sure if you look up Spotify, you can look up the Dusty Bogans playlist, and I will make a Dusty Bogan Spotify rap music playlist, and then you'll probably be like, oh, it could be all black people music, and then you listen to it and be like, oh, I get your drift, Dusty. You know what I mean?
And take it how the people want to take it. There's some people walking around here right now that never thought I'd see this.
Where does this become degenerate? I don't understand where this conversation.
Too dangerous.
You know why? Because wow, Nick doing the damn thing. Yo, Nick, he got the platform, whatever. But Griff,
right?
Like, why are you letting that?
The words of others only have the power we give them. That's not
you can't
an
find
excuse
on
to
program
disrespect others, though. Mutual
not
understanding
only
is
Jewish
key.
people but gay people. I don't have that conversation like that
because you don't have that in your spirit.
It's not in my spirit because it's all love.
Right. So how is that message so misconstrued? Because we know why they do it. We know why they
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you a conspiracy theory, and it might come from the same train of thought that these guys have. So I have no understanding, no idea why the big rap labels almost specifically sign up thug rap. That's not helping the black kids out there without dads. So there's like a story, I think, goes way back. The story is that the music labels, the rap labels, the MTV and all the shit. So when they privatize prisons in America, this is the story. I don't know how true it is. This is fucking Dusty Bogan. They reckon they privatized prisons in America, and you could like buy prisons. You could invest in prisons and shit. So apparently the big record companies, you know, they might be a part of a like fucking conglomerate of a share market conglomerate thing, right? So they were like, yo, we're going to invest into these private prisons. And then they're like, oh shit, we should start promoting this thug gangster rap music, and it will be like a fucking economic ecosystem where they create the shit music, and that creates the badass fucking evil culture. It's fucking evil. It is fucking evil, the shit that I'm listening to. My missus, if I hear a listener, I say, I don't want to listen to that shit. Turn that shit off. And if there's a few good ones, I say, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Chuck them on. Get rid of them. And I'm real conscious about what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, what I'm fucking eating, who I'm around, people who cause drama and shit. And I just say delete, 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 delete. If you have never walked out of the cinema, if you've never gone, oh, this is the second, third, fourth adultery scene in the movie, and you go, just paid $10 for this movie ticket, and you say to your missus, we're out of here. I'm not watching the shit. And you walk out of there. Walk fucking out of there. If you're sitting there and you go, oh, we're going to try watch this new Netflix series, and you turn it on, there's like, you're fucking half an hour in, and there's like 5 adultery scenes, you know, where they're like, it's not a sex scene, people. It's not a sex scene. It's not Joe Blow and he's like, oh, she's beautiful. How you going, love? Oh, you're stunning. Blah, blah, blah. Can I get your number? And then they go on a date. And then they're like, you. Dusty has to quickly run in there and be like, I now pronounce you husband and wife. And then I'm like, and they're getting it on. It's not that. It's not that. It's like an adultery scene. They're probably like married or boyfriend and girlfriend. They're committing adult. They're cheating. That's the shit. If you hear that in a song, this evil, weird, fucking degenerate shit, you just go, bang, delete, turn it off, change the channel, walk out of the cinema. Don't listen to it. If you got that friend who's just drama, needy, weird, always causing shit, you know what I do? I say, I don't hate you. I don't want to think about you because of your drama and your bullshit. And I just go, delete. It's what I've done my whole life, and I'm pretty fucking good. I'm pretty fucking good, mate. Have a look at your D Live, Dusty. Yeah, wow. Thanks for the ice cream, Don Jolly. Yo, Brucey boy. Thanks for the ice cream, brother. The ice creams are ticking up. God bless yous. I could almost like permanently migrate my shit to D Live, to be honest. It's like weird. I need Aussie Mozzie. I'm gonna get a second monitor so I can just be like, yo, fucking D Live. And just be onto it. Because I need to work out how to scroll up. Here we go. I'm fucking working it out, mate. Yeah. It jumped right down the bottom, so I can't read all your comments. You can screen boot the chats. Really? I need to fucking work out D Live better, and I've been like real fucking slack on it, to be honest. Full screen. Screen boot it. That seems to be a bit better. Clip source. That's how people clip it. Get it out, mate. Don't. Fuck! The sound's coming through. Sorry for neglecting you, D-Live. I reckon like what I'm gonna have to do is be like start me show first half hour on YouTube, and then I'll just be like, fuck you, YouTube, and just go full D-Live. Yeah, so let's keep watching this before I go on 1,000 tangents. Turns into like a 2.5 hour fucking live. I think we got some reason. I thought, I don't even know if we're going to get in. I've started this at an hour in, and we're catching the last half an hour. So we're probably missing the actual real bad.
Believe that we are dangerous when
Right.
we unite.
But Nick, let me
He
ask
did
you,
say
let's just be
something
frank
about
up front.
Malin at the
Let's just
start.
act like
We caught that little
let's act
Malin
like
a
these
bit. I
cameras
don't
are
know
not
if
even
that
on.
was the
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
You mean to tell me you think they would allow a man like Professor
Yeah,
Grip
bro.
to
That's
strive,
pretty much it,
survive,
man.
and
I
be
told my
successful
youth
in
boys all
front of
that.
young black men not on drugs,
Beer
not
bong
gay.
time.
I don't eat swine. I don't eat meat. I'm a vegan.
I'm gonna go grab
I
a
got
fucking
beautiful wife.
beer.
I'm taking care of my family. Blah blah blah.
He
You think
shouldn't
they
be a
want that image to
vegan.
get out?
Okay, so let me ask you this thing.
Fuck, I gotta
Why am
run
I
and grab
allowed
beer.
to?
I'll
'Cause
see
I
if I'm
want to be
missing.
like Griff.
But no,
I look at you. I look
Bring
at
me
you
a
and say,
beer,
okay,
woman.
no,
That's
right.
this
So,
amazing
I'm allowed.
device comes into
I'm
play.
a lot of money in this.
Just
I have a
koala.
large platform as you speak.
Yeah.
And I want to give brothers like yourself the opportunity
Right.
to do it. And that's when they always say, "Oh, we gotta protect Nick Cannon. Oh, we."
And this dude's been deplatformed.
Any minute they
Oh,
come
hey
and get
babe,
him.
could you bring
Even
me a
when they
beer?
say, "Oh, well, the government gave him
2.
lupus." I done seen all of the comments and the crazy
2
and all
beers.
of that. But I'm still, I'm allowing myself.
Love you.
Or I've been allowed to shine.
True love.
Allowed to spread the light and
Bring
say,
me a fucking beer, mate.
I wear my turban on NBC.
Wearing a
I say
turban.
NBC stands for nigga, be careful. And I walk away.
Xbox sending in the
tens
love.
of millions of dollars and then go create.
That's some generosity right there. Thanks, brother.
And still get to
and allowed
And,
to stand my
Deadbeat.
ground and have character and have
Yeah.
purpose.
All I can say is you're a dangerous man.
That's what Dick Gregory said.
You're a dangerous man.
They coming to get you, but it's only because I stand on the shoulders of brothers like that.
Oh,
I
give
learn
thanks.
from you.
But how many people actually say that though, Nick? Come on.
But it's the truth.
No, let me tell you something. The people watching this will know this is real. People don't invite me to shit. Whenever you see me on a documentary film, never.
Right.
So
Thanks,
they say,
brother.
Mr. G says, yo, Nick want to meet you in blah, 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 and Dr. Sabi thing and the Nipsey. I'm like,
We're gonna have to rock a beer
sure.
bong here.
Mr. G will tell you. I'm like, yo, you sure?
See,
You
these
understand what I'm
dudes
saying?
don't
Like,
say.
yeah.
I reckon I could have a beer with them. I reckon I could have a beer with these dudes and probably get on perfectly fine. We could probably have like real good theological conversation. I'd be like, oh, maybe we could like create a fucking better theology where we're like, you'll meet in the middle, and then you're like, yo, some of it's all good, and even get the Jewish dude in there, and then we're all like, create that theological, pull this spider web together, and we're like, that actually is it. We've discovered it. It's like theology is like being a scientist. You're discovering it. You're working it out. It takes a while, but you work it out, and then you're like, yo, and you get it good. Thanks for the fucking beer bongs, Xbox, and Deadbeat the Legend. Fuck. Can I reach? God bless yous. Cheers, eh? Good as gold. Oh no. It's on one nail. Oh shit, I spilled beer all over it. I painted that picture a few years back when I was injured. Had some injuries and shit, and I felt like oh, this depression is making me feel weak. It made me feel mentally depressed. And I was like, I went to the doctor and asked for antidepressants and shit. I was like, I need to take something. Help me here. But I had like a few days off work, and I built some furniture and I did some paintings. And I put these paintings on my wall. Bang! And I was like, I had to feed into my creativity and then create my environment. And I was like, I'm fucking bang. And then you know what? Sooner rather than later, I felt all good. Bang! That's the way it is. That's the way you got to do it, people. Story time. Okay, I'll give that a try, mate. You got to create that environment. You got to live in it, bro. It's like Peterson said, treat yourself like you're someone you care about. The stats were the stats doctors have. You can have a problem. They can give you a medication and be like, this will solve your problem. Guess what? Only 60% of people, or 60% of people won't take the medication properly. They won't take the medication properly. They don't. And he was like, treat yourself like you're someone you care about. Why did he say that? Because if it was their friend, their child, their partner, or their dog, guess what? The statistics are that you will take that medication. It's like 99 point something percent. It's almost 100%. So we're kind of like better at caring for each other people than ourselves. So we got to care about yourself. You got to be like, yo, consciously be like, create that environment, bro. If you come into this house, you'd be like, wedding photos, holiday photos, family photos, scriptures, motivational quotes, flags, like hero champions. You listen to my playlist. You listen to the movies I watch, the shows I watch, the podcasts I listen to. I don't listen to shit. Anyway. Anyway.
Yeah,
Bang.
man, dude, it's real. I'm like,
So what is he saying?
Like
too much is given, much is required. I was given these opportunities to be one because
Oh, yeah, I
of
should
those.
give it a swirl, eh?
Two,
For sure.
because I gotta pass it on to the next.
It's
Like
called-
I'd be doing
right.
a disservice if I came and got the bag, got all the
Right.
money, and got all the information and kept it to myself.
I talked about it in the book. It's karmic debt.
Right.
We owe one
Karmic
another.
debt.
The karmic debt, and what you're doing is an example of what I'm about. Paying it forward.
Right.
You're not gonna run into Harry and Tubman at Whole Foods.
Fuck,
bro.
Tim's on a
So
few
you cannot
minutes.
hit
You
her
fucking
off
joking
and pay her
me.
grocery
That's
bill.
why he sent me a
But you can
text.
pass it forward to a sister.
He sent it
That's
to
the
me,
next Harry
and I
Tubman.
was like, just share it on my
Karmic
page, mate.
duty.
Let's pay it
It's
forward.
our
man.
privilege.
And I wasn't getting the
And that's the only
innuendo.
way we will survive. And that's what I mean. And I feel like I've had the opportunity to sit with brothers.
He sips coke like a granny.
I sat with him several
Yeah, and
times.
He's
said,
like
"I'm
Donald
passing-"
Trump.
Before
You're like-
he transitioned, he's like, he said it, I'm passing it to you.
Yeah.
He's like, now you got to go do what
Right.
I couldn't do. And he said the same thing. He's like, man, you dangerous.
There's things
I
you
thought I
can
don't
learn,
understand.
like
He's like, they
there's
wouldn't let
things
me
you
do
can
what
learn
Oh no.
in life. Like I think like I don't know how Trump didn't learn to just be like just hold the fucking glass, bro. Just hold on to it. Hey, fucking go. I bet you they don't hold their dicks like that. Hey, fucking go, mate. Good as gold. Not like this. Like that's how a baby holds onto a fucking bottle, you know? And that's one of the flaws of Donald Trump. and see, the thing is, I think people on the right wing, because we're not stupid idiots, we don't believe in the left wing religion. They create the impossible standard that is unachievable. We don't have that on the right. We're like, whatever. As long as you get most of the shit done and sorted out, you can hold a glass like a fuckhead. You can be a prick. We don't give a fuck. This dude, see, right-wing people watch this rapper dude, Nick Cannon, and we're like, we don't give a fuck. He should have, this should be broadcasted on MTV. Don't kick him off MTV. Make this a regular show on MTV. Invite Dusty on the show. Let them have a beer bong together. Do a shoey together. For fuck's sake. We don't believe in cancel culture. We don't give a fuck. We're Western chauvinists. We believe in freedom of speech. Anyway.
No, they wouldn't let me do it either, bro.
and
They kicked me out of a damn hip hop group. So imagine
right.
on a television show.
But it's the same information. The information you've given me, the information.
It's Wednesday night. I have my Bible study.
All of these people that I got a chance to sit at their foot and soak up game, and now I can.
This is me Bible study.
To the littles. In these short form ways, whether it's
how is this dude's show?
Whether it's
how is this show even bad?
To the little ones, to my kids.
Right.
I'm still giving them that game. You're God, you powerful, you're a superhero.
Right.
It is degenerate.
This Marvel
it is degenerate.
Concept now.
I do agree. I wouldn't.
They don't understand that.
Look, this is what I'm saying. Like,
getting a little bit of it. They giving them the.
In one. Like just a minute ago, I'm telling you about the environment I create, what I see and listen to, the people I'm around. For me, is the most important thing, because that I'm keeping my whole state of mind, my whole your culture, so you got your traditions, you got your rituals, right? And you learn from that, or your heritage, the family tree. The roots run deep in your culture and your tradition. You take all that and you understand, and you go, my present is the most important thing. Your present, what you're presently surrounded by. I want to be surrounded by this, by that, by this. I'm surrounding myself in the present right now. So if you live, so I understand, because I have a full respect of the past, the culture, my traditions, and I see the value in it, my family, and then I go, oh yeah, I take all that and I create it into my present, and I'm conscious of my present. what up the music, what I'm watching, people I'm around should be artistically created around me. And what's that doing? I'm reinforcing and building my heart and my mind up. I'm built it up. I'm like a fortress. I'm fortified. I'm hardened. I'm strong. It's tough. I'm not letting in poison into MTV. It is like poison, but I'm not saying because I'm a Western chauvinist, because I believe in the West, because I believe in the Constitution, because I believe in the Magna Carta, because I believe in freedom, because I believe in the Bible. I understand. I understand the first story is about freedom. Garden of Eden is about freedom. The freedom to choose, right and wrong. And I understand that. So I'm like, these people shouldn't be silent. If you don't like me, don't try to silence me. I don't like cancel culture. I don't try to trying to rewrite history, pulling statues down, or the political correct bullshit. I don't like that. I reject that. At this time, I reject that, and I stand for freedom of speech. And at the same time, I'm fucking conscious. I am the huge part of my life. Probably one of the most. It is the most important part of my life. Is that present, minute to minute environment I'm in. My present environment. What is going on here? What am I doing? What am I listening to? What am I consuming? Who is this? What is this conversation I'm having? What am I listening to from this person's mouth? How are they speaking? How am I speaking to them? And when you're living in the present and you're conscious of that, then you're living in and creating. It's like living in paradise. It's powerful, but people don't do that. They go, oh, MTV. They listen to the poison. I'm not saying delete MTV, but I'm saying shit. Dusty curing fascism with mindfulness. I don't know. Am I transcending and losing myself in the fucking comment section here? Losing the fucking. Yeah, let's try and watch this. We try and watch all of this. We got 6 minutes. I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to stop it. I refuse to stop it. We could be done. This could be a 2-hour episode wrapped up.
As dangerous as it may be,
Right.
It's the truth.
Right. And
Yeah.
even this morning, man, I'm getting dressed. I'm like, I gotta bring this brother a gift, man.
Because the lack of melanin, you can only act evil.
I
think that would be statistically. It seems that.
I put my comic book in the car, and it's based on a Public Enemy song called "Who Stole a Soul."
Ooh.
And I'm like, that's it.
Dusty's gone full ontological. Yeah. Maybe.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't even know what that word means.
We following the Gregorian calendar, throwing our whole time signature off.
That ain't even ours.
And
it goes back to the Dr. Sabi of it all. Like,
exactly.
It ain't even our, as you call it. I love it. It's like, it's not about a diet. It's about a living.
It's a live it, yeah.
And Dr. Sabi always said that when they brought us over here to America, they didn't bring our food with us.
Right. We tried to hide seeds, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about now.
Because it's different. Yeah.
Exactly. The thing that's going to keep
agriculture
us alive will kill them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
The foods that vibrate on a high level.
I reckon it's pretty cool what they're saying. What they're saying, we should all say. This dude's saying what I just said. When I'm like telling you about living in the present, surrounding myself in my tradition, my culture, my heritage, understanding all that, and then living in my present and creating an environment and consciously living in I'm saying that. And then you listen to what this guy's saying. In a way, he's kind of saying the same. It's similar, very similar. You know what I mean?
Minerals and that kind of thing. And
what's wrong with saying that? There's nothing wrong with saying that.
We get power from
the
sun.
We process it.
They died on the sun.
Exactly.
The sun kills them.
Exactly.
It empowers us.
Right. with a high form of
Here it
alchemy,
is. Here's
we turn
the
that into, we can get melanated and mellow at night. But when we serious, we get in that sun, we get turned up and lit. You understand what I'm saying? Because we got the melanin to do that, man.
Right.
But if this dude lived
and
in
a pineal gland,
this
that
dude
allows us,
might have to take vitamin D to live in America. Depending where he lives in America, he can get rickets. He can die of vitamin D deficiency because of the melanin. And this is kind of the stupid part of the conversation, because it's like, they're like, when the Europeans migrated up from Babylon through the Caucasus, and they, we went through this before, so this is getting to the pointy end where people who had melanin in their sits, high melanin, couldn't survive in Europe, in North and South parts of the globe. They couldn't survive. They would die off. They would get rickets. They would get brittle bones. You know what I mean? And same with the lighter skinned people. If we lived in Australia, we got the 85% European heritage, the highest rate of skin cancer on the earth. Correct. Correct. So, like, I wear this, protects my neck from getting burnt. I'm not a redneck. Do you know why I'm not a redneck? Because I have a bogan hat, and it protects my neck from getting red. And I have this hat, protects my face, and I pop them sunnies on. Then I put my war paint on, put my sunscreen on, and I'm like this. Yo, fuck you. Nah, all good. And then if I go back to, Mother Scotland, where my kilt-wearing ancestors were painted blue, just like my hat. They would paint themselves blue before they would fight our enemies. I just want to paint myself blue and go into. I should wear a kilt and paint myself blue and go to like one of these left-wing fuckhead rallies, eh? And just be like, what are you gonna do about it? What are they gonna do? I'll tell you, my experience is that they're more afraid they're the most fearful people I've ever met in my life. Whenever I go in there, I'm just like, oh, how you going? They're just like afraid. I don't know why. But anyway, let's listen to this.
To astral plane and do all the things that we do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they don't get that.
Exactly. So brothers was like, I'm having trouble with this. I said, bro, sit still for a minute. Take the jewelry off because you're interrupting the frequency.
Yeah.
Pick your hair out.
Right.
Stop
and
dying
meditate.
and frying it. And
You're
just
right.
sit quiet for a second. It'll come to you.
It'll come to you.
It'll come to you.
That piece is there.
Exactly, man. It's there.
Man. So, I mean, we done tapped into a whole lot. And I know the internet gonna go crazy.
This dude got banned. So it was just the end bit that was.
Once they see us sitting down,
bad
the mere fact that we're sitting together having a conversation.
I'm not offended by it.
You understand?
Yeah.
How could you be offended by this?
Who are the other people with the black robes that's faking it though? They wrote the thing and they said it, not me.
Right.
Rickets. Rickets is the softening and the weakening of the bones in children, usually caused by extreme and prolonged vitamin D deficiency. This is what happened to the African Americans, slaves, when we tried to save them, when the Christians tried to save them from slavery, the abolitionists, and we were like, yo, we want to save you. We want to take you to the north of America and to Canada. And these people got rickets. They were dying. They were getting sick, brittle bones, vitamin D deficiency, because they couldn't handle the climate up there. This is why the Europeans went. Like my grandfather in World War II, he was like 13, and he had like 7 siblings, right? 7 siblings, and they were all young men. My granddad was the youngest, and their parents had died. So my granddad's like 13. His parents are dead. He just has all his brothers. All his brothers are in the war, and he's alone in Ireland. He's just there. And they reckon, like, they were like, you need to go work on get a job in a ship. He worked in some cargo transport ship. And he reckons they traveled down to Brazil. And he spent like years working in ships, right? And then he got to New Zealand, and he was like, it's just like Ireland. This is my mum's side of the family. My dad's side of the family is the Scottish side of the family. And he was like, yo, this is just like Ireland. It was cold and miserable. Shit. I'm glad. Send me to Australia. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm just happy to wear a mullet hat and sunscreen and put my war paint on, put my fucking mullet hat on, protect my my neck from getting red, and my sunnies. And I'm like, yeah. And Nick Cannon's just like, he gets all like upset because he's like, that Bogans, he's playing the game, he's fighting. He's like, he shouldn't have been able to, but it's not my fault. God had a plan for us to have the greatest empire on earth, to spread freedom and the Magna Carta and the Constitution, spread the goodness of God throughout the earth. It's not my fault. I'm not in the interdimensional. I'm not in the multiverse, interdimensional heavenly realm. I didn't make these choices. God looked down when them men created the Magna Carta. He looked down and he was like, hang on a minute. What the fuck are they doing? And they created the Magna Carta, and they were like, he's like, they're fucking having a go. They'll have the greatest empire on earth, them lot, because they're about freedom. Not perfect, because you can't underwrite or devalue the you can't create. You cannot have this creation can't exist. We were created with freedom, the freedom to choose to eat. Eat the knowledge of good and evil that could result in our death. That's the nature of this dimension, of this universe, this part of the multiverse, this part of the realm or spectrum of the dimensions. This is our part. This is our part. There's other parts. They're over there. He's up there. He's like this. Fucking have a go, you beauty. And that's all I can say. These people don't. We have theological. I wonder if we sat there and had a conversation with this dude, and I was like, "Yo, whoa, listen to this theological position that you've created and you're talking about," and you're like, "Is there a chance that we don't have the full picture here, and can we understand it?" We can't actually dispute the fact. I didn't hear someone said there was the comment in here about the thing about the melanin, and he offended the Jews and wouldn't say I'm sorry. Is that right? Abel, I'm Native American and not offended by the U.S. football name of the Redskins. We don't need white liberals speaking for everybody. Keep up the good work. Thanks, mate. I wish I had another cold beer to fucking rip down my beer bong, but I don't. Actually, I do have a fridge full of them. But it's time to wrap the show up. It's time to say thank you to every single person that's tuned in tonight. And we've done a 2-hour banger. It's 7:16. We've rocked it for 2 hours and almost 5 minutes. Thanks to everyone for your super chats. Thank you, D Live, for all your hookups. Wednesday hype. Don Jolly reckons. Oh, Don Jolly. He's a fucking good bloke. How the fuck do I distribute these lemons? Okay, hang on. Yo, here we go. I gotta distribute these lemons. So can I chuck this? And then we go bang. We're gonna submit these fucking delicious treats What is going on? What is going on? How the fuck have I done this? Submit, distribute rewards. Did that do it? You D Live. Thank you, fucking D Live, for your generosity. Thanks for tuning in. I totally appreciate it. I know that I do neglect D Live because we dual stream off. I use StreamYard, so for some reason the comments don't pop up on the StreamYard chat. If I dual stream to Facebook or some other fucking platform, they come up. So I should send like an abusive email to I should send an abusive email to fucking, you know, to StreamYard. Like, fuck you. Use fucking D Live. Get D Live sorted out. Oh, I need to buy another screen. That's what I'm gonna do. When you donate Dusty Lemons and YouTube, when you donate super chats, the next thing I'm going to get is a second fucking screen, and then I'll be like, yeah. There you go, Don Jolly. You got hooked up with some lemons, brother. They come back your way in the magical chest. Thanks so much for your generosity. D Live. Thanks, Xbox and Deadbeat, and I think there was more. Was there a super chat that just came through? Bang! Yeah, there we go. Abel. Thanks heaps, mate. Like Cain and Abel. A powerful story. And I guess, like, you imagine this guy, this Native American named Abel. Is that right, how I'm saying it? Yeah. And that's another powerful story from the Bible, where you think about the story of Cain and Abel. And Cain offered up the vegetables, and he was a vegan, you know. He was like, yo, you can have some fucking vegetables, God, and I'll give them up as a burnt offering. And then that was Cain offered up the vegetables, and Abel was like, yo, he took his best lamb, and he's like, I'm giving this to God. And for some reason, Cain was jealous. There's like this weird jealousy. So I think, like, most importantly, if we could end on Abel and his name, that kind of triggered, enlightened, brought this thought into my mind, is that though we're sitting here listening to Nick Cannon, and I don't think he should be deplatformed for whatever he had to say, let's think of Cain and Abel. Let's not have the spirit of Cain of Cain and be jealous or weird or fucking blah. Think about how the way that we interpretate what other people are doing, and we get so offended, and so, like, the political correct left who are like, we need to cancel fucking Nick Cannon, and they cry like little bitches. But oh, sweet, my mates just bought me another screen. I need to hook that up. Yeah, for sure. And so what we're gonna do, we need to make sure we don't have the heart of Cain. I don't know if we need the heart of. I guess the heart of Abel was the heart of the Christian race, and it's the most important thing. So I hope tonight we've learned so much. We've gone through so many different theological, different fucking. We've probably had a little drink from probably in the multiverse. There's like a library, and they've got like a few books, and they're like, yo, download that. And they download that through the Holy Spirit, through the aluminum foil that lines my hat, keeps out the 5G, but it lets in lets the Holy Ghost keep downloading some pretty good stories. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, God bless you. Hit up Royce Lopez. I know. I should hit up Royce, man. It's been ages since I've spoke to them lads. So that's like definitely on me goal fucking page. That's definitely like a thing to be like, yo. I used to like watch the boys on ROTC a lot. and I've been a bit fucking lazy. I need to hit him up in the comments section. Hit him up. I've got a Skype. I can hit him up over Skype. Be like, yo, Royce, you fucking legend. Hit me up. Anyway, God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Pray for Nick. Nick has some fucked up theology, let's face it, but we don't want him to be deplatformed. And God bless you. Hope he's had a fucking good night. Yeah.